Okay, I was just walking past Amin, and someone told me at the end of last week that there was no post office there anymore, so I just thought I'd call in and see Abdul and for him to give us an update, and it turns out that we're a bit late on this news. Abdul.
Yeah, unfortunately we've had to make a business decision to part company with the post office. It was no longer viable. In fact, over the last year and a half, we were probably putting between £400 and £500 every month from our own pockets, and you can only do that for so long. Whilst the post office is a wonderful community provision, unfortunately it can only be offered if it is either profitable or cost neutral. Now, you can only provide that service by paying for it from your own pocket for so long. Beyond that, the responsibility that they require, or the post office requires, is such whereby you need to have trained professionals who are serving the people, and that means that not only can you not leave the post office in the care of someone who may just be someone from, someone who was able to handle the tills. You need someone who is post office approved and trained and so on. And it just, from 9 o'clock until 7 o'clock every day of the week is just a little bit too much. And I guess with the breakdown of the system, it gave us food for thought. And unfortunately, the post office no longer are an organization as they used to be a number of years ago, where you had plenty of support and people to listen to you and things like that.
Oh right, so the whole structure of the post office has changed from
the structure of the post office. When we started, there was a certain remuneration that you had initially, so you would have a base salary every month, and then you would have commission on top of it. But with the restructuring of the local model, they gave you a certain amount to invest to make those changes. But in reality, what happened was you lost the core payment, and you only got X amount of money every month based on what you were selling, so commission-wise. So let me give you an example. We have an ATM, and for the ATM, we would get 1 pence in every £100. Now you need, considering we were doing 5,000 transactions, that means we were getting £50. On the other hand, if we were doing MoneyGram, which is a service where you send money abroad and things like that, well, on average it's taking about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to do one transaction. That means the people who are waiting in the queue to shop transact are waiting longer, but then you get 50 pence for it. Now, if you don't need to be a mathematician to work out. Yeah, Einstein, a mathematician to work out that if you spend £15 for someone who you're paying £10 to, that means you paid £2.50 out, and you've only got 50 pence back.
Yeah, oh, it's a shame. So does that mean that theoretically that there's a post office franchise up there for grabs for any of the other traders on this side of the bridge?
Theoretically, but I would ask them to think very carefully about the business model.
Right.
Because if you are going to be in a position like ourselves, where you are then having to pay from your own pocket, the Newmarket Road is also closed.
Recently?
Yes, this month.
Right.
There's another post office in Reach which is also closed. So there is 4 or 5 that I know of within this month. Obviously, in Romsey, he's merged with
Smiths.
Yeah, with W. Smiths. So, there are models at work, but even him, he's on, because him and his wife are working there, and his hours are a bit shorter, because he's working from Monday till Monday till Saturday. At least he has some quality of family life, and he's living above.
Yeah.
But for people like me, it's
Right.
it's very difficult to maintain that.
Right.
I am saddened by the loss, and I feel guilty to an extent, particularly for the people who are in Ditchman Place, because, as you know, I'm very community focused. Now, in order to overcome that, what I've done is I've looked at other alternative suppliers. So, for instance, people like PayPoint will be able to pay bills with. You can buy electricity or gas. You can pay for your TV license, and all those sort of things.
Right.
they also do something called click and collect. So effectively, people will be able to come and pick up their parcels or send their parcels, but it's a different model. The difference is that instead of us getting 1p for every 100, we're getting 7p.
Yeah.
Now that's a 700% increment, which means instead of getting £50, we're getting £350. At least it goes somewhat towards paying for the extra staff and the manpower that we need to employ.
All right. So if in doubt, people just need to see what come in and see what you do.
The other thing also is that we've got to realise that the post office, as we knew it, has evolved, has changed. People are using emails and various things, so they're not sending letters. They only send letters and packages mainly on anniversaries or Christmas or things of that nature. Obviously there's a component for shopping returns, but then you have Hermes, you have click and collect, you have other players who have taken away a lot of that market.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.